meat and
hey guys,
cleaning packs and teas
driving on my way home. It's super traffic here in Auckland motorway. So it's a Friday afternoon.
What year
is it's traffic. So if you could just accompany me for maybe how many minutes this one. So depends on the drive, but thank you. Might as well do a vlog on the Auckland traffic. And I'm listening on the news.
But I know it means big. It's huge growth. And look, I'm genuinely concerned, about it and how long we can continue.
See the shoes?
Do it, So. But you got my number now. Yeah, I got your number. So just keep in touch with me. Okay, thank you, brother. Good to see you.
And with COVID cases starting to swell, 446 today, and home isolation.
446 COVID cases here in New Zealand.
More than ever.
Woohoo! Raise the roof.
And they are doing
it's going bigger and bigger.
From our two next. Please check out the video.
And whereabouts my mask? I think I got my mask here.
For business news now.
See?
Nona Peltier. Nona, the government's reviewing
the mask while driving.
Structure. Why? And who could end up owning it? Well, the time has come where
yes.
big shareholders in
nice mask,
the company called Kiwi Group Holdings. It owns Kiwi Bank and it also owns Kiwi Wealth and other pieces. New Zealand Post is thinking of, apparently, according to some reports, thinking of selling its majority position.
Nowhere to go.
On what it does, its core business.
Nowhere to go. It's just traffic everywhere.
Services. Now, because of the way the structure works, the other two big shareholders, which is ACC and the Superfund, more than 5 years ago, they bought a stake each in the Kiwi group, and for 5 years, they couldn't sell their shares outside of those group of NZ Post, Kiwi, the Kiwi Group Holdings, ACC, and Superfund. So now they can. But before they do, the government has the right of, has a first option on those shares. So they're looking at what stake they might want to keep for themselves and what stake might be sold to a third party. That's what's happening right now. It's going to take some time before they sort through that one, though, so we'll have more time to talk about it. Okay, Nona, we're short on time, so shall we do a quick gallop around the market, please? Okay, sure. So, look, the market's real turbulence out there, a lot of concern about interest rates and inflation. That spooked global markets as well as Asia, so we fell, nearly 2%.
How are you guys? Hope you're having a good day. It's Friday here, and I just had some drinks with my office mates. So yeah, it's Friday. And it's the weekend. So we just relax, have fun.
Nona Peltier there with business news. It's been described as a violent gesture and the biggest security threat Europe has faced in decades. Tens of thousands of Russian troops have started military exercises in Belarus near Ukraine's northern border. The US has previously said Russia could invade the former Soviet republic at any time. The Kremlin says it's just rehearsing its defence against an attack. Crisis talks are ongoing with the UK minister and the French president trying to broker a solution. So where is New Zealand in all of this? Ko taku manuhiri Inaine, ko Nanaya Mahuta, Foreign Affairs Minister. She joins us live. Tēnā koe e te minita.
Tēnā koe, kia ora.
How would you describe Russia's actions right now?
Yeah, look, we're watching with concern.
We'll change the station, eh?
Thought that early Spitzen's albums like Second Thoughts and Mental Notes. Tim Finn, this time last week, in fact, that
I'm listening to AM because if I listen to the FM and some music plays in it, usually just copyright the music.
As Christians, we believe that our identity is first and foremost about being.
It's an AM radio.
So download the SNZ app and hear us anywhere, anytime. All right, Ford.
Hi, I am Afif Shah, licensed immigration.
With those companies, those sort of threats when you're running a business.
AM,
temperatures may result only.
And regional southwest at Landing Drive. The northwest and heavy westbound between St Luke's. We all love our morning catch-ups with a coffee. So join Baz and Izzy for breakfast as they enjoy coffee catch-ups with Kiwi sporting legends. Thanks to Mick Cafe. Try the delicious new Mick Cafe coffee blend today. It's pretty choice. Mick Cafe. Simply good coffee. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
If you're a thoroughbred owner, here's the perfect chance to get your mates involved in the sport you love. LoveRacing.nz and New Zealand Bloodstock bring you Share the Thrill, the ultimate ownership competition. You could win a 10% share in a thoroughbred purchased at NZ's National Yearling Sales Series at Karaka in March 2022. Get a team of 4 together.
Nowhere to go. This is a motorway, guys. In the Philippines, it's like it's traffic.
Take on any job with Kubota's wide range of lifestyle products. From ride-on mowers to utility vehicles or compact tractors. With performance-matched implements, Kubota's lifestyle range has got you covered for all your property maintenance. Head to kubota.co.nz or speak with your local Kubota dealership today to find out more about the hard-working and reliable Kubota lifestyle range. Kubota, shaping New Zealand. The less hair you have, the more you think about it.
Oh, my hair.
It starts off with the occasional thought, but after a while it can really start to become a pain.
Look for another station, eh? Auckland traffic, eh?
So right in the middle of town, and I was waiting for the bus.
Listen to this.
And as I was waiting,
listen to this guy
behind me on this bench. This thing, it just sort of moved very quickly across the wooden bench, and I had to take a second look because it wasn't a mouse, it wasn't a rat, it wasn't a bird. It was a giant cockroach. It would have probably been
change the station.
Maybe
I'm afraid of cockroaches.
Maybe
EPs in the Philippines. No
right.
way.
So will you speak to the Russian ambassador at some?
Never mention things that gives you something as awful as SARS-CoV-2.
Absolutely. H2 binding is really
What we're observing is of concern that those discussions and those discussions will be.
Then you'll be helping those who need our help. Find out more on our website or call 0800 53 0000.
David has over 20 years experience with electrical inspection. David and his team specialise in inspection, compliance and electrical contracting. There's no call-out fee and you'll know the cost of the service before, not after the inspection. David's down to earth, customer focused and always available.
Just got off the phone from Dave in a professional manner.
Whether the job is big or small, give David from DNI Electrical a call. 0800 47 39 29.
Love your afternoon. The Afternoon Show on Remo.
ecstatic. You could see he got emotional. It hasn't hit me yet. Because if this was about money, if I was going to just do this for the money and bounce, I would have done this like maybe 3 fights ago.
Also something special, obviously. He was the best balance, the best eye, the best. If you showed him the sport, he was good at it immediately.
13 away from 6 with us on the Sports Huddle this evening. We have got, of course, Phil Gifford, sports commentator, and today we have Andrew Alderson, News Talk ZB Wellington, News Talk ZB Morning.
Traffic is hell.
Hello there.
Friday afternoon.
Does it look to you like Novak is actually going to get the jab after all?
5:40 p.m.
Novak's a pragmatic
Everyone
fellow,
trying to get
I
home.
think that he can see a
So
Super
traffic.
Rafael Nadal with 21 Grand Slam titles, and I could see him certainly considering his options there. And you've got to think about the determination of this guy. You know, trained in an empty swimming pool during the 1999 NATO bombing of Belgrade, went to the shelter in between sets on occasion. He knows a bit about resistance and a bit about fight, and I could definitely see him making that move.
So why we think he might be doing it is because he's headlining the Indian Wells tournament, which you have to be jabbed for, but they're not really pushing him hard in the advertising, which suggests that they might not be sure, right?
Well, you'd never really know, would you? You know, I mean, but I'm inclined to agree with all of this. I think when you get to the stage of a career that Novak Djokovic is at, there's a tremendous amount of, well, let's be polite and call it pride rather than ego that comes into it. And the thing is, if he wants to be remembered, and I'm sure that he does, as the greatest tennis player of all time, he's going to have more Grand Slam titles than Rafa Nadal's got. And if he stays away for a year, let's say, and who knows, Rafa might pick up 1 or 2 more, and then suddenly that gap becomes impossible to bridge with what's left of Djokovic's career.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Hey, we have no idea, do we, Andrew? I mean, this is the thing that struck me this week. We have no idea how big a deal Israel Adesanya is globally in New Zealand.
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, overseas is just, and you know, if you're a follower of the UFC movement, which I'm not really, I sort of have a bit of difficulty with it, but people seem to love it. It's very popular, and I think it just has an enormous following in the States as well, and that just is a compelling factor there that we're probably not as aware of as others out there would be, just in terms of the following he's got. So yeah, he's certainly made enormous strides over the years and has earned his place.
Is it enough to make you, Phil, want to watch the UFC?
Well, not for me personally. I'm not saying I'm not that woke that I don't watch boxing, and I realise it's a guilty pleasure for me.
Almost home, guys. Almost home.
I know it's just theatre. This hitting a guy while he's on the ground and looking as if they're in a back alley with knives. With the setting that they had for it. Can I just say that I don't know that Adesanya, that the problem with the recognition in New Zealand is down to the UFC. That's part of it, because there are some people that actually don't like the sport itself, and I'm probably one of them. But I think you compare with a guy like Scott Dixon, who is regarded and has always been reported quite rightly as an absolute sweetheart of a guy, and yet Scott Dixon really, I don't think gets the acclaim in New Zealand that he really deserves for an astonishing career in motor racing, because it's all been in the United States.
Yep, fair enough. And also because we are still, I mean, as much as we're changing as a country, we're still obsessed with the old rugger primarily, which brings us to the rugger, actually. Orders, can we really see Super Rugby Pacific playing out with uncontested scrums to avoid the COVID? Is that realistic?
This is my exit from the motorway.
Possibly. I mean, it's a needs must solution, isn't it? The whole situation. I mean, it's such a crucial component to rugby. It differentiates it from league. The power you get from the set piece advantage, you get a mental advantage from that over an opponent as well in the scrum. And I just think that certainly, with deep power, it would be a different looking game of rugby if that was the case. And hopefully it's not. But I mean, to get the games on, maybe it is just a necessary evil.
What do you reckon, Phil?
Look, these are such bizarre, weird times. I've actually seen a game of top-level rugby where I've seen a test match way back in 1977 when they played the last 10 minutes with uncontested scrums, Lions playing the All Blacks. In 1990, there was the most bizarre game of rugby I've ever seen when a Canterbury hooker, James Buchan, was ordered off, and a guy called Phil Cropper came on, and he said to the referee, "No, I'm not a hooker, mate. I can't go in the front row." So they had a Ranford Shield game, which Auckland successfully defended the Shield with uncontested scrums for, in my memory, the majority of the game. And that was such an such an outcry over that, to the point where the Canterbury guys left the after-match function early because their coach Frank Jack was scared there might be a fist fight at the after-match function. I don't think Super Rugby is going to be as volatile as that, but it is. Look, in 2022, I think we all know after 3 years of this pandemic, God damn, anything is possible, isn't it?
That is actually a truth. That is a statement of truth right there, guys. It's great to chat to you. Thank you so much. Welcome to sports commentator Andrew Alderson.
Speaking in English.
Sports 3 to 7 away from 6.
Talk ZB Auckland. Time saver traffic.
Good evening. Now slow on the southwestern motorway southbound because of a crash that has now been cleared prior to the Lambie Drive off-ramp, but still slow from Puhanui Road. Southern motorway, it is slow southbound between Otahuhu and Papakura. The northern heavy citybound between Esmond Road and the bridge, and on the northwestern just moderate to heavy westbound between Waterview and Lincoln. Any updates? 0800 Jams. This is Andy Harwood for Time Saver Traffic.
New Zealand's favourite naturopath, Lani Lopez, is here to talk about what is probably the biggest natural health
my
discovery
life here in New Zealand, guys.
Resveratrol, which is the main ingredient in her Pez-Res Boost.
Hi, Heather. In 1994, it was actually Dr. David Sinclair. He's a Harvard medical scientist.
Follow me on
and he discovered resveratrol, a natural plant compound. And in large amounts, resveratrol has this ability to support the body's creation of new mitochondria. And those are the battery packs in our cells. And as we get older, we generally make less, or they get depleted through illness. And since 2011, my formulated pure resveratrol product, Pez-Res Boost, has been voted the favourite supplement because it works. It supports joint comfort, back care, heart health, cholesterol, blood pressure, and best of all, energy levels. And in this hot weather, you may feel overpowered with fatigue. So, all you have to do is take 1 to 2 of my dynamite Pez-Res Boost capsules every day.
So how do we order the Pez-Res Boost?
Buy online with free shipping, money back guarantee. Just $114.95 for 180 capsules. That's up to 6 months supply.
Listen to FM,
$10 off if you have a Super Gold card for ages 65 plus.
Music on it. It will be just copyrighted.
800-114-115.
Pez-Res Boost 6 months supply, just $114.95 from LaniLopez.com or phone 0800 114
have an awesome weekend, guys, and
Unleash the power of Vodafone
enjoy
so the
2 days off.
never stops this summer. Get wall-to-wall
Usually
Wi-Fi
we get
guaranteed
Saturdays and Sunday off.
account credit and live your best
Thank
summer
you guys.
with Vodafone.
Thank you guys for watching.
Exhibition terms apply.
Super Cheap Auto celebrating.
See you guys. Have an awesome weekend. It's DJ Agu from New Zealand. Bye, guys.